Colorado Avalanche head out east for the weekend and probably want to get back west as soon as possible. So let's talk about it on a new episode of Locked On Avalanche coming at you.
Your Locked On Avalanche, your daily podcast on the Colorado Avalanche. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Locked On Avalanche podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chris Maselli. Joining me as always, Mr. Zach Pearson. Thank you for tuning in, making it your first listen of the day. It's always appreciated. And if you want to get in on that conversation, join our subtext. The link is in the show notes below. You chat with us one-on-one, get your opinion, everything Avalanche related, and share it on this very podcast. I mean, this is not like panic button stuff. It's just frustration stuff because I'm not upset with how the Avalanche continue to play hockey, but I feel like now it's, after that solid start that they had, now it's, I hesitate to say finding ways to win because you've won games, right? But you're in just this little like section right now where it's like, now it's overtime. Now it's like, we're going into power plays and you're like, God, can they score a power play goal? And now you're going into overtimes and it's like, man, can they win this overtime game? And you've had this many overtime games this early in the season and you've either lost them in overtime or lost them in the shootout. So it's good that you're getting there because you're getting the point, and that clearly means you're in these games. But now you got to finish. You got to find a way to finish these games. And when it gets to overtime or shootout, the Avs just haven't been able to do it yet.
The overtime thing is really strange to me. It's as strange as the power play thing because you've got a team that is fast and uber talented, and at 5v5, they seem to still be able to kind of take over, and they're still dominating. They're still tons of great puck possession metrics. They're still doing all those things. But then all of a sudden you give them a man advantage or you give them the open ice of overtime, and it's like they panic and just forget that they can do all of these things. Looking at the shot heat maps and stuff from the couple of games too, it's really weird how I feel like 5-on-5 really good. You're getting up, you're getting pressure in front of the net, you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. Once it goes into any other version of hockey, they just aren't anymore. And so I completely agree. I don't feel like it's, oh my gosh, we need to panic, what's going on?
Right.
But it does feel like we need to figure some stuff out. I don't know exactly what the solution is, but there's got to be a solution.
I don't think it's anything that needs to be like groundbreaking or anything. It's just like the puck's just got to start going your way. Those bounces got to start going your way. And it's just amazing that they're all stacking against the Avalanche. Like for a team that, like you said, is as talented as they are. You told me in the first 10 games of the season, you've had 4 overtime games and they wouldn't win any of them. I would have said you're probably crazy.
Yeah.
Like there's no way that they're going to lose all of those. The shootout is what it is. I've said it before. I don't care about it. Like when you get to the shootout, it's a coin flip. But if you getting to the shootout to 2 of those is pretty amazing because I just feel like this team has that talent. And when you give them that much more open ice, whether it's 3-on-3 or in overtime or the power play and the man advantage, and they're struggling that much, which it's so weird because like you just said, the 5-on-5 is they've been great.
Yeah.
They've been great at 5-on-5. They have been a dominant team at 5-on-5. You would think that would just naturally carry over to you're giving us an extra man advantage, that it would just increase how much you're dominating, and it's gone the other way. I can't figure it out, and part of me wants to try to make this deep dive into what needs to change. It just needs to start going their way, pure and simple.
Yeah.
Continue to play your game, but just if you have to come out on top of these games, and because there's some points left there, and I don't want to be that guy that's like, well, you got the point, like that's all well and good, but sometimes you need to be on the other side of getting that extra point. And the fact that the Avalanche haven't been able to do that is a little bit mind-blowing, a little bit frustrating.
Completely agreed. I think too, one thing that I've noticed that just sort of sticks out to me is any time that the Avs turn the puck over, it feels like it's either a scoring chance or a goal for the other team. I do feel like every turnover seems to be, especially if they're neutral zone or our zone turnovers in our defensive zone,
Right.
right into the back of the net. And so, like, there's definitely things to clean up in small pieces. And I mean, I don't want to be overly nitpicky because you're still sitting atop the standings, you're still playing excellently, and
Right.
like we said, 5v5. But you kind of have to be nitpicky in order to get that next spot. And I mean, I'm obviously not an NHL head coach. There's a reason that I'm sitting here talking on this podcast instead of actually coming up with these solutions. I'm just very excited to see what that solution ends up being. And like you said, it might not really be anything, but I think
Uh,
kind of there is
yeah.
luck, but also make a bit of your own luck. And I think some of
Right.
those mistakes, off passes, bad turnovers, all of those kind of lead to that puck luck going against you.
Well, and you saying that kind of made me feel like that's it. You saying like when there's an Avalanche turnover or something, and the other teams are taking advantage of it, and the puck is in the back of the net. I think that's what it is. I think the Avalanche need to when they get a golden opportunity like that, make them pay.
Yeah.
And they had like for whatever they haven't been able to do that. Like that goal that ended this game against New Jersey. Like it just who was it that scored the game? It was Hughes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the puck just finds him and crazy things happen on 3-on-3. And
Oh, yeah.
it's just him and the goalie, right? Like that was it. It's just a showdown. Nobody's there coming for help that quickly. Like it was just one-on-one and he buries it because he's a playmaker and he's an all-star and he can do that. It's a very tough goal to shot to ask any minor or anybody to save.
Yeah.
But if you flip that around right now and you had like MacKinnon or even Makar in that situation, like you feel good about that situation, but like the way things are going right now, the way like the pucks are bouncing, it's like that shot would either sail wide or would have been saved. I think that is it. I think like, and you saying that kind of like put the light bulb on for me, how I'm saying like, I don't want to do a deep dive. They just need to just give that little extra like oomph when they're presented with those situations right there. Where they're given an opportunity to put the game away, put it away.
Yeah.
Easier said than done. I completely understand that, but it just seems like you're right. Like when another team has a golden opportunity, they're burying them, and when the Avalanche are granted that same opportunity, right now they haven't been able to do it. And they're that the one game I think it was against who was one before the Bruins.
That was Carolina.
Yeah, when they had like the two shorthanded opportunities like back to back.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
You got to be able to take
demoralizing for the other teams. Like things like that need to start happening on top of how they're playing overall. Grand picture, like from like top down, looking down, bird's eye view. They're playing good hockey. It's just those little things that are not going their way that are costing them games.
Yeah, no, absolutely. To quote the very excellent quote from earlier this NFL season and Mike McDaniel, to win the game, you have to win the game. And that's kind of, I mean, it really does feel like that's it for the Avs right now. Because I agree. It's just take advantage of those pieces. It's do all of that, but they are playing good hockey. So I'm, like we said earlier, we're not in a panic mode. I'm not in a, oh my God, this has to change, but it definitely needs to be figured out. And I think some of it is bounces, but again, I truly believe that a lot of luck is made by yourself. Go take advantage of those things. Maybe we need some LOC back on the ice to take advantage of those shorthanded chances, because that guy is a wizard on the shorthanded opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah, like it was weird because I was at this game in New Jersey. So, and in the third period, they're down a goal, and I'm sitting there wanting them to like force the issue, like come, like let's get going, let's hear. And I don't know how it looked on television, but they just went about things like very calmly.
Yeah,
it was almost like because I feel like they felt like they were playing a good game, and from not so much in the first period. I thought the first period was even. They outplayed them in the second period. The Avalanche did, and in the third period, it got back to a little bit more of an even game in the third. But the Avalanche, the visual where I was like in the arena was like they felt confident about where their game was going, how they were playing against the Devils, and they just needed an opportunity to present itself, and it did with the Brock Nelson. No, I'm sorry, not the Nelson goal. No,
Yeah,
was it? Was
the
he? Yeah,
third
yeah,
period
that
was
was it.
Brock Nelson.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the Brock Nelson goal. And it's amazing how those opportunities present themselves, and they're, he's able to get that game tying goal.
Yeah.
And it was just weird. It was just weird to see it because I'm sitting there wanting them to, like I said, like force the issue, like just overcompensate for when you're going into the, like, and they didn't. They just played like this very relaxed style of game. It was very weird to see, and just knowing we're going to get an opportunity.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, like, but you're not guaranteed to be burying those chances, but they did. So you have like this yin and yang of playing that way. And you got an opportunity and you tied this game, and then you get into an overtime and you don't even get possession. I don't even think they had possession of the puck in overtime. I don't think they did.
So
I
the
mean,
Altitude Plus app sort of wigged out on me and then rewound about 40 seconds and then jumped back to live. And so I missed the actual goal. I saw the replay of it, but
okay. Well,
I
let's
didn't
get
see a ton of the overtime, unfortunately.
get a break in here, and then I'll bring up the graphic over on HockeyViz. It doesn't look like that. I don't remember them having possession, and according to this, they did not.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, that tracks.
Yeah. So let's get a break in there. And then other things we want to talk about within this game, specifically like the lines. You had some things switched up, and I thought it went pretty well. So we'll get our first break in, and we'll talk about that coming up next. Let's hear from Game Time, because hockey season is officially here, and nothing beats being in the arena for those opening games. But let's be real, getting tickets can be a total headache between waiting in queues, surprise fees, and prices that jump right before checkout. It's easy to get frustrated when all you want to do is cheer on your own team. And that's where Game Time comes in. The app gives fans the advantage. It's your ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NHL tickets fast, easy, and stress-free. So take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. Once again, that code is LOCKEDONNHL, LOCKEDON, NHL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go with Game Time. All right, so I got the HockeyViz the Tide here. Let me share that on the screen because you can see it. There we go. You can see that overtime there.
Oh my gosh!
Right on the bottom. I'll zoom into it here.
Basically,
there it is, right there. It's all great.
On YouTube, you can see it, but if you're just listening, there is no Avalanche possession metrics for overtime at all.
Nothing.
It's all New Jersey.
Nothing.
That's hilarious because, like I said, I mean, unfortunately, I was fighting the app today, which works pretty well all the time. It just, for whatever reason, something about my phone decided that today was not a day for overtime and didn't want to play just the overtime period.
Yeah.
No problem with the third.
All right.
So I agree.
And here,
like,
you can look at the other ones, like, you're so, like I said, like halfway through the first, right before we run the first Nichushkin goal.
Yep.
Like you kind of took over from there. Like things were looking good. And in the second period, you really kind of controlled the pace play in the second period. And then third, it leans more in spots to the Devils. But this is where it's odd. I would say, like, they just played like this comfortable game. And I think that kind of like shows it on the Avalanche side. They weren't pressing anything like they were in the second. But they got an opportunity and they took care of it. So those are the good things you like to see. But that overtime, something's got to change. Like you can't be giving up points in overtime when you have the talent that you do. So,
it is really odd. And like we said in the first segment, it's so strange to have a team this talented that's this dominating 5v5 and is that fast and does have that puck handling ability. I don't get how you don't own the open ice entirely. You really should.
Well, they moved some things around. I was kind of wondering if they would do something with Gabe Landeskog. just because he's been struggling. There's no secret about it. But it's like, do you just continue to give him time, knowing he's missed 3 full years and only played a handful of games between the Eagles and the playoff round, or make a move? And for this game, Bednar made that move. He brought Victor Olofsson up to the second line, dropped Landeskog down to the third line.
Yep.
I thought it went well on both fronts. On both fronts, I thought Olofsson played well up on that second line. I thought Landeskog played a much better game. So it's weird. It's almost like, you don't want to call it a demotion. I mean, by the letter of the law and the definition, it is. But it's also like, hey, like you can still produce you can still be the best guy on a third line for both teams, and it's like a bunt in baseball. Yeah. Sometimes it just breaks you out of a funk. I don't know if this is the game that would break Gabe Landeskog out of a funk, but I just thought both those lines held their own and did pretty well.
I do like Olofsson on the second line. I think Olofsson has really earned his way up. Him and Gavin Brindley are two guys I'm very impressed with to start the year. Brindley, absolutely is blowing me away. The dude is a just little speed demon, aggressive monster out there, and it's wonderful watching it. But Olofsson, I think he's got a great shot. He doesn't seem to be making too many mistakes. I mean, I'll have to look into some more of some stats and stuff, but eye test wise, I think he deserved that bump up to the second line. I thought that was a really good move. So, I mean, maybe it'll bust Landeskog out of the funk. I would definitely appreciate if he gets back into his old ways. I mean, I know he's kind of struggling, but I don't think he looks terrible, especially for a guy that didn't play for 3 years.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see what this does.
That's third line with Landeskog, Drury, and Colton was in terms of Corsi 13-4-10 against. And you had for Olofsson, Nelson, and Chuskin, that second line was 10-4-6 against. In Fenwick, you remove the block shots, 9-4-4 against. So as long as you're on the plus side of those numbers, you're good. You're okay. You're generating more shots than you're giving up. It's not, crazy amount, for and against, but it's at least on the plus side of that. So it's above 50%, which is where you want to go. I don't know. And I thought Landeskog had, let me see if any shots on goal real quick. Two. Oh, yeah, shots. I think
two shots on goal. Yep.
Yeah. So, it's just I think you just got to give the guy a little bit more time, and I'm sure there's some people that just don't, or not that they don't want to do it, but figured like this would be enough time for him.
Yeah.
But who are we to say? I mean. You missed 3 years, and maybe you do need a few extra games than whatever the normal time is that you are going to allot a guy to get games under his belt.
Especially
if we're just not there.
Unprecedented surgery,
recovery,
and everything. My knee is just sore. I went for a run, stepped funny, and it just kind of and then I was like, oh, I guess I'm not running for the next couple of days because my knee's just bugging the heck out of me.
Right.
And it's so it is kind of hard to sit here and be like, do better at hockey after you just had your entire knee completely redone. So, I know he'll figure it out. I know he's still a good hockey player. I have no issues with any of that. I think it does make sense to drop him down onto 3 and let Olofsson move up onto 2. Yeah,
the hockey stat cards. I know the hockey stat card up on YouTube. And again, they're the card that you have lines for each player going to the right and to the left. When they're going to the right, that's good. When they're going to the left, that's bad. Josh Manson, that surprised me. I like to be that far, but that is team defense. So that's not individual defense. I think that no, wait, hang on. Is that it's so difficult. No, that's individual, because that's the darker of the two.
Yep.
This one right up here for the Jacka Chan one is or Shaka Khan, I should say, not Jacka. That's the lighter blue one. So that's individual defense. So that's bad. But I mean, for the most part, like this is okay. If you eliminate that, this is okay. Like as a whole, it's okay. It's nothing. You have your Taves and Makar up there, and the Chuskin's up there. Brock Nelson, you like seeing him up there. Good for him to get a goal. So
Olofsson's up in the top as well. And like we were talking about, Gabe's third from the bottom, but he's not,
but it's not terrible.
Crazy far to the left.
Right.
He's okay.
You want that to improve. You want that to be better, but it's not terrible.
You know who I'm really impressed with, even though it's like, you're on New Jersey now, but even though it wasn't like too bad, was Malinsky's. Sam Malinsky, he had some bad on the offense, but he had like really solid defense. And I really like seeing that because we were talking about it. We want that kid to do really well this year. And he has.
He's been playing well. He's been playing well. Yeah, there's a New Jersey one. I mean, if you didn't know, and I just showed you these two cards, you'd probably think like the Avalanche won this game. And just off the visual of that.
Yep, probably relatively handily too, because the majority of New Jersey is on the left side of that line.
Right. And New Jersey, you get one goal, the second goal that just had to be stopped. You got to stop that one. Yeah. The second goal, I think the first one from Jack Hughes. Like that one's got to get stopped. And then they kind of have like a puck that bounces around, and then they have a breakaway, like a 2-on-0 breakaway. Yeah. And then the one in overtime that just finds Jack Hughes again. So it's like that's the frustration. And that is hockey. Sometimes you're going to be on the good side of that.
Yep.
For this game, it was the Avs were on the wrong side of it. So
the 2-on-0 breakaway, they were just caught in a shift change, I think, right? Like it was just, and that's one of those just bad puck luck kind of sort of situations. But to me, that's also the type of puck luck that I think you can greatly influence. It sucks to be caught in a shift change when they've got the opportunity to just break down the ice 2-on-0, but is what it is.
So I don't know. Let's get our last break in here. We'll do, our stats that we've kind of been going over a little bit. And then we'll do our sound check as well. And we'll kind of wrap this thing up, and we'll do that right after this. We're going to hear from FanDuel. Yeah, the NBA is back as well, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride a hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into same game parlays for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps everything exciting, especially when your team is making a late push. So right now, FanDuel is giving new customers still the $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. I went ahead and checked. So the Broncos are in Houston.
Next week. It's the one road trip in the middle of a 5-game homestand.
Okay.
Broncos should have that one.
Okay.
I'm feeling good about it, especially after today. Or yesterday, if you're listening to this.
Yeah.
It was, you showed the Cowboys who's boss, and so I think you can roll into Houston and do the same thing to the Texans.
It was a good one. Put $5 down. If it wins, $300 in bonus bets goes into your account. Head over to FanDuel.com right now to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right. So any kind of overall stats either jumping out at you for this game or any other players that we haven't discussed that kind of you want to give some shout outs to?
He didn't get himself on the score sheet, I don't think, at all through the weekend, right? But Marty Necas continues to just be this insanely fast, so I don't even know how to describe him. He's like Nathan MacKinnon angry skating, but without the hatred. I've heard it described as MacKinnon just hates the ice and he's so angry at it, and that's why he's so fast and aggressive. Necas seems like he's almost playing that same kind of game. I think it's why he works well with MacKinnon. Those two seem to work pretty well together because they both have that attack mindset. The only reason I really want to bring him up, and again, I know he didn't get necessarily on the score sheet, but he really looks good. We got to get this contract done. We got to do it now.
I think he skates more like Cale Makar to me than he does Nathan MacKinnon.
And
He's just more of a smooth skater, and MacKinnon has the aggressive style, and like Makar is more like deceptive in how fast he actually is, but Necas is like you can see how fast he is, but he's not as like angry, aggressive as MacKinnon.
No, and that's what I was saying is like he looks when I watch him skate, he's like power and go down the ice, and again, you see the speed and you see the power, but he's not Nathan MacKinnon about it. Like maybe if you combined the skating styles of the two, because I agree, Cale Makar looks like he's literally just floating sometimes out there, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're just sort of dancing, and then poof, you've moved over here somehow, and nobody knows what you just did. Necas can do kind of some of that, but again, I think he's just got that crazy speed power. I've really I enjoy watching it every time he has the puck. I think it is super fun to watch.
Yeah,
and so. The Avs need to sign him. B, he's going to get back on the score sheet pretty soon because he is so good at that.
I kind of feel like the thing that like a lot of people are going to be talking about tomorrow are this overtime thing. Like they're angry with Jared Bednar for putting them on the line together in overtime and feeling like they need to separate them two in overtime. I can understand and see what the positives of that would be, because you have two like dynamic puck handlers and scorers, like one line after another, and kind of like making an opposition kind of deal with that, which would be a tall task. But the other is, those two guys together are pretty dynamic. And, if you don't want to split that up on, 5-on-5, I know 3-on-3 is a different animal. I don't know. Like I can see both sides of it. I don't know if I fall on the side of, I mean, maybe I do now because like, okay, putting them together hasn't won them anything.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe you do it to just like you're trying, moving Landeskog down, you're trying to get something out of that. The proof is that you have no proof in this team getting any points once it goes to overtime. So maybe there is a change afoot for that. I don't know, but it seems like that is kind of like the talking point right now is splitting those guys up for 3-on-3.
See, and this always bugs me with regular season overtime because come playoff overtime, it's still 5-on-5, and so you still have to have the same setup and everything. So I get it, and you do want the standings points, so maybe you do, but I also like the two of them working together. Like you were saying, just the chemistry between them seems to be really good. And when you have two guys that can shoot, that can skate, that can move the puck, they're going to draw the attention of more than one person. And when the other team also only has 3 people and they have to put at least 2 guys on one, then that means you have 2 guys that you should, in theory, one of them has to be open and available. So you should be able to move that puck around and just keep that control. I agree. It's not working. It's obviously not, but it does feel like it should. So maybe a change comes in, but we'll see.
It's almost like, okay, fine. I would take Necas out and substitute in for the 3-on-3 in overtime, like Val Nichushkin, because he just seems to be like that, like him, MacKinnon, and Makar. I don't really see the drop off if you were to take off Martin Necas and put him on whatever the second group is for your overtime.
Yeah.
So like I would be okay with it because who you're substituting in for him is just as dynamic, especially in overtime, in all that open ice, and with how powerful he loves making power moves.
Yeah.
Especially in overtime. And when you're giving him, that open ice, and there's not really going to be much help, if he gets a drop on his defender and he's able to make that cut, and there's nobody on the backside helping out, game's over.
And he's so good in tight on the net. He's so good at shooting right up in front of the net. So yeah, I do. Val was my name if you're going to break those two up, you got to put Val with Mac.
Yeah. Like Val Nichushkin seems to be the answer to so much right now.
Yeah, he really does.
The 3-on-3 overtime. He's that dynamic. He's
him missing so much time over the last couple of years, I think has made Avs fans just not quite remember everything he means to the team, which is wild because I know we've talked about it here. You talked about it before I joined, and other shows across the state talk about it too. The wins when he's playing versus the wins when he's not playing is dramatically higher. And so everybody should know at this point, Val is a keystone player of this franchise.
It's crazy. Yeah, another goal for him.
Yep.
So let's see. You had Nelson, Shuskin, MacKinnon with your goals, and then Taves, Makar, Malinsky got an assist. Olofsson with an assist. Lehkonen with an assist. Colton. So, you had a good amount of guys like pitching in here.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, nobody had 2 points. So everything came, all the goals were, that's wild. I'm just seeing that for the first time. Like all your goals and all your points were just one from everybody.
Yep.
So that's good. That's good because it's kind of up and down the lineup. But what's that?
Yep. It's good to spread it around.
It is.
You do want to have more people contributing, I think, but
you also want when it's go time, your big guns to step up and end things. So I think that's just where we're at right now for the Avs. And look, we're 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the season. Like, I'm seeing some crazy stuff going on online. Like, people, you are not firing a coach who's had 10 years with a team, who is 8-9 games into a season and has them at the top of the standings. Stop it.
Right.
Stop. It's not happening. It is not happening. It's probably not going to happen this entire year unless they go off of a cliff. But what team in their right mind would fire a coach at this point in the game when you have them at the top of the standings and has been with you for a decade? Knock it off. God, I can't believe I have to say that.
People are absurd, man.
Oh, man. All right. Let's get to our sound check and wrap this bad boy up. So this is where Zach and I each pick a song that summarizes the most recent game, or in this case, the weekend. Or if you want to do the weekend or the most recent game, it's up to you. So.
This fits for the whole weekend, I think.
All right. So these songs go up on a playlist over on Spotify and on YouTube Music. Just search LOA Soundcheck Volume number 5 is what these songs go on. So what do you got? You're doing the weekend? I don't mean the artist the weekend. You're doing the entire week. Yes.
I'm going to go with the whole weekend. Okay. I thought about doing the weekend, the artist, because it just seemed like it might fit there. Okay. And he's in my daughter's favorites, but I don't know what song would fit. I don't know his music well enough. So instead, I'm choosing a Colorado band, actually, a Denver band called The Epilogues. And the song is Paradigm Shift, because there just has to be a paradigm shift for the Avs at this point. Fix that power play, fix that overtime, get those small things corrected like we were talking about, shift some paradigms, get yourself back into the win column on Tuesday.
Love it. I really like that, actually. And it's interesting how, like, how much it's shifted from those first batch of games to start the season. Yep. And look where we are now, only a few games later. That's how quickly things can change. Again, not hitting the panic button, but something needs to shift when it comes to power play, and something needs to shift when it comes to overtime. So, good one. Which is kind of where I went with mine. I'm kind of in that same boat. This wasn't really for the whole weekend, more for just the most recent game and what we were just talking about with overtime and the power play. That's why I went with one of the greatest Canadian bands of all time in the Tragically Hip.
Okay.
And the name of the song is Now the Struggle Has a Name.
Perfect.
Because we know what the struggle is.
Yep.
The struggle is not 5-on-5. The struggle, for the most part, is not goaltending. The struggle is overtime, and the struggle is power play. That's the name.
Love it.
That is the name.
Fix
it,
perfect.
and you can't beat this team. Fix it, and then get the guy back of the jersey you're wearing.
Yeah, let's get
and everything is back to normal.
Get some LOC love.
Absolutely. Or just go out and get Sidney Crosby. All right.
Yeah.
That's going to wrap this bad boy up. So we'll be back tomorrow. I think we are going to do a crossover with Locked On Devils tomorrow. We got a new host over there, so we'll meet him, and we'll also talk about the next game between the Avalanche and the Devils, which is Tuesday.
Yep.
So turn right around. And I kind of don't like the fact that October won't even be over, but our season series with the Devils will be.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just scheduling for you. So tune into that. And if anything else is going on, we'll be talking about that in tomorrow's episode on our crossover. So make sure you check it out. But for this one, thank you for tuning in and making this your first listen of the day. Always appreciated. He's Mr. Zach Pearson. I'm Chris Maselli. This is the Locked On Avalanche podcast, where you have made it through another 24 hours, where Sidney Crosby's that much closer to being with the Colorado Avalanche.